Hey, garage people, coming at you. It's Thursday? Yeah. So it's been a couple days since I've updated you last, but I have been up to some stuff. Let me turn you around here. So I've got the engine on the stand. It is all torn down and cleaned up. You can see there's a couple marks on here in the drain back for the oil flow from the valley. And then you can see all these little metal flecks. I went through and deburred the whole block. Took all the sharp edges off of everything. So that's awesome. It is all ready to go. The plugs are all out. All I have to do is load this and this crankshaft and this box of stuff, and then also this engine stand in the back of the Grand Prix, and we are ready to go to the engine shop tomorrow and hone these bores and clean the block. And then we will polish the crankshaft journals as well. Then that'll be all done. I'll get my heads and stuff back, borrow a couple tools like the valve spring checker, or the valve spring installation tool. I have the checker springs already. No, not that drawer. Oh yeah, there they are. So I'll put those on once I get my cylinder heads back, which are at home. I just got to go pick them up. So a lot of stuff coming together. I've got my fuel injectors in here as well as my computer and my cam card to bring to the tuner. And I'm going to bring my fuel injectors to my friend's house and run them through his little cleaner / tester unit to make sure they are good before we install them in the fuel rail, which is sitting in the back of the car there. Yeah, you can kind of see it in there. But in the meantime, the block is done here and clean, so I'm going to wheel that out of the way. Oh yeah, so much nicer without those sharp edges on there. Ah, wonderful. Yeah, I ported out the flow backs, a little bit on the coolant passages there just to get rid of some sharp edges and promote flow. And then I just got rid of all the sharp edges on all like this edge here, that edge, all this stuff in there. And like at the bottom of the cylinders, that little step in the metal there. Yeah, I got the edge off that. So yeah, very nice. Did that to all the cylinders. Polished up the drain backs in between the lifter bores there. And all the sharp edges on the back as well. So we were ready for cleaning and then bearing reassembly. Put the cam in, and then we'll check the clearances on the mains and the rods, and we'll go from there. In the meantime, I finally got done and finished porting my intake. So I'll put a little clip in to show a little sped up version of myself doing that, but I got all these. I didn't take away any support on the inside. I kind of made a little wing in there, just a very, very small, but that's fine. This whole thing seals the runner, so I didn't take away any meat on the inside. I just minimized the walls of all these little retainers here, so then there's more room in between each runner, or each plug for the mouth of the other runner that goes the other way, so each one can breathe as good as possible. So this is the bottom half. This is all done. It just needs to be cleaned before I put it back together. The top half is sitting right here. I'll just grab one of these. So you can see the rail on the top is still there. I just put some epoxy on it to make sure that the gap is sealed. And the rail on the bottom is completely cut off, and the mouth is reshaped a little bit there. That is as big as possible and as smooth of a turn to allow for when these are all sitting, something kind of like this. Yeah, roughly like this. So when they're all sitting, like, like that. The air will go straight through and then can go up to any, this cylinder, that cylinder, that cylinder, that cylinder, that cylinder, that cylinder, that cylinder. So basically you wanted to make the pathway as smooth as possible and the opening as big as possible for each one. So I think we did that really well. These just are going to be, I might sand these a little bit, but then they're ready to go. So I'll clean this and get that ready for reinstallation or reassembly. And then on this is the top half of the manifold here. I had it inside because it's a little warmer in there, but I'm not going to tip it over because it's got all these in it. But so this is the half that's going to face upward. I covered the EGR port, I trimmed that way down and put a layer of JB weld over the top of it. So I'm going to sand that and polish that, and then we'll spray this whole top with this crinkle black, wrinkle plus VHT paint, just to give it an even color on the top. And I think it'll look real good as far as being incognito goes. It won't look like a fast at all, and it'll look relatively similar to this intake. Not this exact same, but similar from a glance. So yeah, I'm pretty excited. I think now I'm going to put the phone down, get my stuff put away here, my block and stand loaded into the car along with the crankshaft and this stuff, and then I'll have some free space to tune up the intake manifold and then clean it, and then maybe even put it back together. So, and then this stuff can all go on the front and we'll be sitting real pretty. So I'm gonna continue on that. We'll see what needs to be used for the sanding. If I need my power little air grinder or not, we'll see. Maybe just hand sanding in the Dremel. I've got a couple new drums here for this little guy. This did great for all of this, so that's all you need is a little Dremel, just and take off the burr. But yeah, you can see it's how much metal there ended up being, so there's a whole lot here. So yeah, this thing is gonna do real well in the tank. I think I'm gonna take out that bolt and that bolt there. I'll label them just because otherwise I'll forget, but I think that's it. So yeah, all right, boys and girls, I'm gonna do that, and I will come back at you when I have the intake more progressed here. So it'll be fun to get that looking like a full unit, because that's one of the main pieces of this whole build, and I did a lot of work on it. So when it's all back together, I'll definitely get some shots of it. So that'll be exciting. Until then, yeah, keep wrenching, folks. I'll come back at you. All right, folks. Got the bottom half of the intake sitting in here. The top half is inside just so it gets warm. I'm gonna leave it in here for the weekend. I am done for the time being. That just needs a little bit of sanding and then painting on the outside, and it's ready for assembly. All my engine parts are sitting there. Got the old intake and fuel rail and injectors in the box for storage, so that's good. And I got Yeah, an engine and a crankshaft and a stand in the back of the Grand Prix. And there's all my little accoutrements in there, accessories, some engine brushes, the computer, fuel injectors, cam card, Berryman's WD drill, and my ratchet rattle gun. Everything I need to get this on and off the stand. And the rack that it's sitting on. So you can't really see that well. It's not as good of a... there you can again. So yeah, fits in there nicely. And it's cold out here. So, got that cleaned up for the day. Got this basically cleaned up to where I want it. I am going to go in the house and get a little bite to eat and probably call my mom. And then the girlfriend and I are going to go on a little date night. And then tomorrow I am heading up to town, Buffalo early, to then go to Waverly to hit up DRM and yeah, hopefully get all my stuff accomplished there, and then hit up my buddy in Buffalo to clean up and test the injectors, and then we are full steam ahead after that, folks. So, very cool stuff. I'm going to post this for today because I haven't posted anything for a while, but just a little update there. The block is done being prepped and deburred, so that's probably what I'll call the episode. The intake is done, just needs reassembly and final sanding, so I'll maybe mention that as well. And then next episode, I will actually show that painted fully before it's ready to reassemble, in the reassembly process with the throttle body and throttle cable mount and nitrous plate spacer, all that fun stuff. And then also the engine assembly will be right after that. So or checking the clearances on the main bearings will be first, and then we'll put that in, and then, or maybe we'll put the cam bearings in first, yeah, and then the cam, and then we'll flip the engine over and put the crank in, and yeah, go from there. So fun stuff coming, people. Take it easy.